Welcome to another episode of the Foul Report. We have just officially parked the big trailer at the shop here, and we're done for the year, and we're drinking beers. So cheers to another season in the books.
Made it through another one.
I would say that's exactly what we did. We made it through.
Yep, we made it through another one.
I don't remember exactly like when we did this 6 weeks ago what our goals were for the year, but I believe we probably failed at most of them. Although no one got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
So I do know like safety first.
And I think
I
our
was
friends...
told Carl, who my wife babysat, safety first. Carl.
Safety first, Carl.
We got set up early this year. We're about a month ahead of schedule in our setup. And that's when they came. They came. We did get some snow here and there. Mm-hmm. But the reality is we shot most of our snow geese in February, very beginning of March. And, of course, a lot of our friends and folks that were coming in from out of town, and even guys in town that had planned to come up, they just didn't have flexible schedules. So we hunted with them, of course, later, but we hunted without them quite a bit.
Yep.
And we shot and saw most of the birds before they got there, and by the time they got there, it was like sloppy seconds. Mm-hmm. It was... we shot birds, but it was, we were on that tail end of juvies and, the lame coming through.
I think the week that we normally have most of our buddies come up and hunt with us, we were picking up that week. Mm-hmm. I think we were picked up by the end of March, which we're usually trying to trickle it through and get a couple of fun hunts with your kids or whatever the last weekend of the season in April, or get picked up that weekend, and we were out of there by March 31st this year.
Yeah. I just took a sip of this beer, and it's a lot more tart than I imagined.
You got bitter beer face?
Yeah, it was surprising.
That's why I stick with
I feel like
old reliable
it goes
Bud Light.
It goes with the season. I was optimistic going in. This looks good and refreshing, and then he just kicked in the nuts.
Good old reliable Bud Light's the same every time.
Yeah, I'm gonna drink it. It is light, but it's tart. We should have a beer podcast. Although you would just drink Bud Light every time, and you really wouldn't venture out and try new things.
I do like some of those hazy IPAs that you had me try.
Yeah, but
they're good.
I guess back to the subject at hand.
We're talking about beer, which was about our snow goose season was.
Yes. So, I think our best hunt of the year this year, which I'm not super, super proud of, was 18. We had a lot of days where we were scraping single digits. Mm-hmm. Most days, scraping single digits.
Happy to get not a skunk.
Yeah, it was not our best performance. I would honestly say this was the worst year of snow goose hunting I have participated in, and I think we need to, fresh on my mind right now, maybe I'm being over dramatic, but need to think about some changes for next year, just because it was rough. It was rough. It definitely wasn't...
We talked about a couple of missed opportunities in the blind that we could have had shots if we had possibly moved the blind out and not had the sumac trees behind us. And we've chatted about that for a couple of years now, where you could have capitalized if you were able to shoot behind us, or guys were able to see them come from behind us.
Yep.
So I think that's something that we should really consider going into next year, because we got a pretty decent source of stubble that we can get up there and get our Christmas trees up there and make a pretty decent blind out of that.
Yeah. I guess just so everybody knows, we hunt on a hilltop, and on the side edge of the hill is the spot where probably for generations of farmers they have just put all the rocks that they take out of the field, and there's been some sumac trees and other weeds and stuff that grow in there. It's been great to use as a backdrop for our blinds. You just disappear. But it is not ideal for the prevailing winds we have up there. We're often shooting them coming over our head from behind. You don't get a good look at them. The shots are straight up sometimes. Or, we get them kind of coming in left or right, which is a great shot.
Sure.
But yeah, it just seemed like more and more this year they wanted to come in over our head from behind us. And I don't know if that's just
seemed like they couldn't make up their mind. They definitely weren't coming over the top, and then they would skirt the left side and skirt the right side.
Yeah.
And
so one or two guys on either side would have the opportunity,
right? And you're waiting to call the shot, so everybody gets a chance at it, and then they end up buggering off and going off to the north, and you're like, well, nobody shot, so that stunk.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so ultimately it was a dud. This season was a dud for us. I did have fun.
Oh yeah,
I had fun with the guys and stuff. But like, if we're looking at stats, bird numbers, this and that, we definitely was a down year for us.
It was a conservation season of shotgun shells this year.
Yeah. I won't need to buy any for next year.
We conserved our shotgun shells
for sure. So with that awesome news, we have Luke here again reporting. And he was actually on a few hunts with us this year. So, Luke, take it away. You have some questions for us?
Yep. After this season, I think I've upgraded from junior to now associate Game Hogg member. So, so I just got a few questions. So, a few weeks ago, I asked you what would make your season successful. Would you change that answer now, or would you keep that answer the same?
Do you remember what we said?
Yeah.
What did we say?
It was double digit on average.
Yep. We didn't do that.
Yep. Nope. So. Given the circumstances, though.
I think, if I remember correctly, I said like getting together with my friends and hanging out in the camaraderie and the blind is something I look forward to every year, and we definitely had that.
Yeah. We had a riot with a few of our friends who do come in from a few hours away. Always shenanigans. Yeah. There's always shenanigans with them.
The conversations take left turns constantly.
Yeah. It's
fun.
It's
a riot.
I can't even speak to it. Like, without fear.
Plus, I know one of
canceled.
The main topics was everybody being safe.
I hope Ed sees this because he'll know what we're talking about.
Yes. So I will say one thing, and we had our early day this year where a bunch of folks. It was before anybody was really supposed to come. So we were just like throwing invites out left and right. And Luke, actually, your grandpa came. Mm-hmm. Our friend Ron Zaga came. And a handful of other folks, Mike O and a few other people came. And Zaga went to an Asian supermarket the day before and just brought a ridiculous amount of interesting foods.
Yeah. Egg still isn't sitting right.
Yeah, there was like some eggs that were blue, maybe.
And black,
The seafood or seaweed stuff that were chips or, I don't know, it looked like
salted duck eggs.
Yeah, salted duck eggs.
Those were the eggs. That's
the
egg that didn't sit right.
No, that one was not good.
What else was there? There was a bunch of stuff. He must have spent way too much money on that.
Oh, the sunflower seeds were a huge hit.
Okay, yeah. Yep. So I will say that may be the most successful thing that came out of this season.
Snacks
is the discovery of those sunflower seeds.
I'm a sunflower seed chewer because I had some other addiction issues years ago that resulted in some gum issues.
Dental work.
Yeah.
Same thing for me.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, but I've chewed sunflower seeds since to keep me occupied. And just so no one gets the wrong idea, it was a legal substance. It was tobacco. I chewed it to stay awake when I was in the Army. I guess that's a lie. I just chewed it because I liked it. But
we were addicted to it, and then our teeth fell out of our heads. So now we've decided.
No, my teeth fell out.
This whole side's
But
fake.
like, I had some definitely dental issues, and after you have
No good.
your gums scaled a couple times.
Yeah.
You don't want to have
No
that happen
good.
again. So sunflower seeds it is, and
For the win.
And he brought us some kind of sunflower seeds that are coconut flavored, but man, they were just like bigger, crispier,
Like Chinese or Japanese,
a little
sunflower.
sweet.
They're
I think
like
they're
huge,
Taiwanese or something like that. But anyway,
giants.
I have since you can get them at Wegmans.
Nice.
I found recently. Actually, my wife figured that out. I was ordering them online, but that is probably like one of the highlights of my entire season is discovering these because it's like a sweet. It satisfies that sweet craving instead of a salty craving. And holy cow, I've chewed so many bags of them since. It's so funny.
Absolutely.
So like we found them. He brought them that one day early in February. We found them, ordered them, and I think throughout the last month, I've probably chewed 5-6 bags. So yeah, I like those. So I highly recommend them. What's up? What's next?
So, what would you have done differently, or changed this past season? Over high level overview.
I think we should have moved the blind. We should have just done it and tried it towards the end. We should have just dragged everything out, as painful as that would have been, and set it so we were facing north and just right out in the middle of the field on top of that hill, and had our backs facing south and just seen what happened. That would be the biggest change I would have made. Because that really did. We had enough opportunities
Shootable
this
birds
year.
multiple times.
Yeah,
we literally just slid off the back.
Yeah.
And we did nothing. And it's almost worse to
have them so close.
And not get a shot off than to.
Yeah. And I think with the couple snow storms we did have this year, because we did have some snowstorms, the way that Rock Island the wind likes to come from the west. Our backs are facing the west a lot of times. But the way that pushes the snow on that hill, it creates those snow drifts. Mm-hmm. And it's always in a thick part of our decoys. The decoys hang all that snow up as well. And I think I don't know this, but my theory is if we were out in the field, it would be less
worth giving a shot.
It would be less issue. So I think, that's the biggest change I would make is moving. I think we're up there at the right time. We
definitely got up early enough because you got up there a month earlier.
Yep.
Than previous years.
Yeah, I think that's our. We had wind most days, but I still got to figure out. We've used different flappers when we don't have wind. We used
clones.
Yep, the clones. We haven't used the tornado machines in a few years. I think I just need to dig those out. We got a few of those and get those back up and running for those days where we don't have.
See if it gives us that
wind.
motion that we need.
Yeah. So, hey, really quick, the screen just went on that. It's still flashing red, but is it recording? It's got to be because it's.
It says device overheated.
Oh really?
Yeah. Will be disabled in 3 seconds.
All right, cut.
So
I gotta get rid of this
things probably could have been better, but there definitely was good and fun times. If you guys want to share a positive or fun story, what was your favorite moment from this season?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I got one. But you go first.
Well, you go first because I don't have one. Yeah. Oh, I got to think on that.
So every day we get lunch. Jason, we order it, same place every day. It's a local diner. They're great.
Outstanding.
Jason runs and picks up lunch for us, brings it to the field. We eat it in the blind. And he gets my dog, River, a burger for the dog every day. It's a plain burger. I'm a firm believer that if he's going to stay out there and hunt with us all day and endure the temperature and just being out there and pick up our birds for us when we have them and just be a good dog, he deserves they eat like we do.
Yeah, he gets a treat. He loves it.
And
for sure.
So we're just posting stuff from the blind on Instagram, just out of boredom some days, out of just sharing what we're doing. And we posted a video of River eating a burger, and
plain burger.
Dudes went wild on Instagram. Like, some of them were like, "Yeah, one of us." Guy, like, and then other people are like tearing me apart for giving my dog cancer because he ate a white bread bun.
Yep, it definitely turned into a controversial post in the comments.
But, like, closest thing ever to me going viral is the video of my dog eating a burger on
burger for a dog
on Instagram. So I think like that just spawned a lot of other interesting, funny conversations for me. And I know we already talked about Luke and other people eating weird foods, so that was a highlight too. But that stood out to me as just something funny.
He is so happy to see me come walking across the field with my 2 grocery bags full of everybody's lunch.
Yeah.
And the diner that we get our food from, like, has never screwed up any. They give us menus and ketchup bottles, like, they're the best. And the first time we were back this year, I had called down there and I said, I'd like to place an order for takeout, and I'm a huge Cowboy Burger fan. The next person gets the BLT, the next person gets the tuna melt or whatever. And then, without even saying who I was, I go, also I need a plain hamburger for the dog. And they went, "Oh my God, you're back!" And they were so happy that we were back. And they were, "How dare you have that dog out in this weather?" And I was like, "Oh, he's a soldier.
He's the MVP."
Best. Yeah, it was a funny story.
Yeah,
that was a highlight for sure.
He's far from perfect, as none of us are perfect.
Awesome.
But
he's the best.
He's a trooper when it comes
shows
to
up every day, and that's more than a lot of people.
That's true. He's the first one in the truck every day.
Every
first
day.
one ready to go, happy to go, just likes to be there.
He's consistent.
Yeah, he's there to give everybody that little head, hey, pet me, I'm going to give you a little love, you give me a little love throughout the day.
The other River highlight for me every year, it does not change every year. It doesn't matter if we only shot 1 or 3. It does not matter how many times you take it from him. It's his job to get the snow goose and bring it to Dad. It doesn't matter if it's the same goose that he's retrieved 6 times out of the blind, and so you have to lock the doors. Or else he goes in and grabs it and brings it back to Dad, and Mike will be adjusting a decoy on the other side of the spread, and River walks up to him, he's like, again? He's like, "Hey man, it's my job." So he's super happy, tail wagging the whole time.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
He's got a great personality.
Yeah, I don't think it would be as fun for me without a dog. And I've, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm definitely with you on that.
Motivated to go in the morning when you're kind of getting up on day 15, and it's been a grind. I would, again, I'm not complaining. I'd love to go. I love having the fact that I have the opportunity to go as much as I do, because every day is a different day and you never know what's going to happen. You see some cool stuff, like swans migrate, or those weird vortexes of turkey vultures that
you get those, or you get the great blue herons that are grabbing claws and spinning out, like just random
the weirdest
pintail
stuff
show.
See, when you're out there, whether it's shooting snow geese or just seeing that spring migration and everything going on. Towards the end of the season, you'll start hearing turkeys gobble and stuff like that, which is wild. To hear while you're snow goose hunting. So anyway, it's just cool having him be always positive. He's when you might not be feeling as positive, he's just like, let's go. Dude. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. So, and he has that little.
Yeah, we refer to River as Happy Feet.
Yeah,
so
he's in there.
Yep.
He's a good boy.
Yep.
So a little bit of a change of pace here. What's the most stressful part of hosting club members? Your buddies, your family, kids. What's the most stressful part?
For me, it's watching Mike stress out about
You're stressed. I'm causing you stress.
I'm stressed because he's stressed on the coordination of everybody and having the success of all of their hunts on his shoulders. Timing, weather, migration, bird numbers are down. He's the one finalizing all the plans for everything, and I drive around and pick up Christmas trees and pick up decoys. Like, that's easy stuff. For me, I feel it for him because it's, there's some days where, your only opportunity is going to come at the last 15 minutes, and we're out there, the guys have called it, and they've wanted to be done for the day, and that's when the birds show up. And you look at his face, and it's like, they want him to be done, it's tough to make sure everybody's there and happy for the whole time. I feel it for him.
Yeah, no, that is stressful. Yeah, it's stressful because as we've all gotten a little older, life takes you all in different directions. We don't see each other as much anymore. Again, I am very lucky between work, my wife, family, that I get to go a lot. I'm always riding that fine line of
if I go this time,
is this
is that too much?
Yeah, but no, it's been good, and I get to go a lot. But there are a lot of our friends maybe they get one day.
Yeah,
they're between job, family, whatever. They get one day. And you can't control the weather. You can't control when those birds push, and we're dependent on migration, on how we hunt them. So many things out of our control that it is stressful on those days when, someone's snow goose season is one day.
Right.
And, they're choosing to come and hang out with us that one day.
In the my whole theory on my success in hunting is I go as much as I possibly can because you never know what's going to happen, and so I get to go a lot more than a lot of people. I work it around my family and social life and stuff too. This past year, one of the best hunts we had, I was out of town with my wife celebrating holiday and
25 years. That's a good celebration.
I missed.
25 years.
Yeah, no, it was great. We had
I would
a
have rather
blast.
been where I was.
But you shot 18 or 20 of them in a band, and I was like, I was with my beautiful wife, and I was like,
we made sure we texted you quite a bit, a lot of pictures, so you felt like you were there.
But she's a good sport about it. She's awesome. She's like, whatever.
Who got that band? You were there that day.
Chad.
Yeah, Chad got it.
Chad got it.
Chad,
dude,
always gets it.
Chad. Let's talk about Chad for a second. Love Chad, one of my best friends.
He's got a horseshoe up his butt.
When he's with me,
yeah,
literally.
I was with you guys in Long Island, and he shoots a brant, and it was belly up in the decoys until the tide took it away, and one of the guys goes, it's probably double banded. You're gonna watch it float away, and before it floated away, they walked out, flipped it over. It was double banded.
Yeah. So he shoots
awesome.
I don't know how many bands he has, but I'm willing to bet
most of them are with him.
I'm pretty sure after we did
90% of them are.
He said after that Snow Goose band, I think he said all but one was with you.
All but one band that he has is with me. Yeah.
Good for him.
Chad, I hope you watch this.
Chad is definitely listening to this right now.
And just remember that. And,
Chad's awesome.
My back hurts a lot these days, so I could use a back rub now and then.
There you go.
But maybe not from you. Maybe just give me a gift certificate for a massage or something. But anyway, you're welcome.
You're welcome. All right. What is something new you learned this spring? Everybody... you try to learn something new every year. What was the thing you learned this year?
I'm going to go back to the whole blind thing and say, just because it worked for how many years doesn't mean it's always going to work. And you can't settle, right? You can't just be like, we figured it out. And then just
think
it's always going to be. Yeah, things are constantly changing, and it's not like I didn't know that, but I think it was just more or less proven to me this year.
The
that,
pressure from other hunters or the
Yeah.
weather patterns or, when they push or where they push or where they've gotten pressure in the past is always changing. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I think just more of a reminder of being flexible, make the changes when, you think you should make them. You can't just do it the same way because it worked for maybe 10 years in a row.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be the biggest takeaway I had this year is just, we've talked about it, but I think really this year it just really like hit me on the head. It's like, dude, you got to change. You got to do something different. It's just not working. And maybe we make the change and it doesn't work either. But,
but at least you could
try.
say you tried. And like,
try,
that's the whole circling back to my philosophy on hunting is going, like you have to make those changes because if it's not working, then you're going to have those regrets of not trying something different and seeing if it at least works or not. So, you only have yourself to blame if you don't go and if you don't try something new and have it work,
Yep.
Gotcha.
Any
Okay.
more questions?
Yeah, I got one more. What are your thoughts for spring 2025? Do you guys have anything planned to do differently? Anything you're thinking of changing? I know, Mike, you had mentioned the blind situation, doing something different there, but I don't know if you guys had anything else.
We're definitely doing it again.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
We're going back because I don't know what else to do with my life. I think the big change has got to be the blind. We gotta make that commitment. We might have to tweak the blind a little bit in its structure to be able to sit out in the middle of the field. The back we might have to make some tweaks to just
because we use that rock pile
as
a backdrop for it. So we might have to do that. Getting up there and getting set earlier. And the flexibility of your friends and family that you bring up there.
Yeah, I don't know if that's ever going to change.
I don't know if it ever will change, but
I like the idea of getting up there early again, just because we benefited. Some of us benefited from
if they can't
just being set.
Make it, if they can't make it the end of March when they normally came, then maybe they can make it the beginning of March and have a better chance of but nobody's going to be able to go up there and hunt if things aren't up there and set. So
right. Yeah. I think that's for sure. Getting up there early, tweaking some stuff on the blind and getting out in the middle, getting some additional motion things prepped and ready to have on those lighter wind, no wind days, just to see, if it works. Those would be my three bigger changes, I think, are the three main changes. We'll need to watch this again in December
to remind ourselves
that's
what we're gonna do.
But yeah, so it's good that we're doing this.
Yeah,
so we'll have a reminder.
As we age, our memories are.
Yeah,
I can remember, the day I shot my first snow goose, but I can't remember what I had for lunch. So
yeah, I'm with you. But so I guess that's our big changes for next year. Blinds, getting up there early again, and some extra motion stuff.
Gotcha. Well, that's all the questions I have, so thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Luke.
Appreciate it, Luke. Appreciate it, Jason.
Appreciate you, Mike.
That'll do it from the Foul Report. We'll be back again soon. Thanks.